When you see an addict on television, how are they usually portrayed? Sunken in eyes, committing crimes, neglecting or abusing their family, and continuing to use despite everything crashing down around them. There is a surplus of stories that depict the addict in the midst of complete and utter depravity. Or is there more to an addict than meets the eye? Is society justified to have this opinion about addicts without taking a deeper look through the lens of compassion and understanding? The idea that addicts are bad people has been around forever. And if you think about it, you can't really blame people for adopting that view. They tend to give up everything, including their family, careers, and sanity, in the pursuit of their high. Addiction brings out the worst in people. It's understandable that someone who has never experienced addiction would have the view that they are bad people. And it's a shame because when someone is addicted to drugs, this myth and stereotype can affect the way that their family sees and treats them. Families lack compassion to help their loved ones. Families get frustrated and want to know why they choose to be addicted. Often, if a family chooses to try to help their loved one, outsiders will judge and wonder why they're putting up with the addict at all. Many people tell the parents of addicts to just throw them out on the street. They're a lost cause, never pausing for a moment to consider what it would be like if it were their son or daughter. It's so easy for a person to look down on and feel better than an addict and wonder why their families even bother. But luckily, there are people out there who are starting to understand addiction for the complex issue that it is. They are taking the opportunity to see the problem of addiction through the lens of compassion instead of harsh criticism. One thing that many don't realize is that addiction can affect anyone. Addiction has touched the lives of people from all walks of life. No one is immune to addiction. Under the wrong circumstances, addiction can be developed by quite literally anyone. People believe that the addict should just kick the habit. If they are unable to kick their habit, it must be the person's conscious choice to continue using. This is where gaining an understanding of the addicted brain can make all the difference. The addicted brain model states that addiction is a progressive disease that affects the brain. Addiction affects the survival centers of the brain in a significant way. When a person's needs were once food, water, and shelter, they prioritize drugs or alcohol first. So as a result of trying to fulfill the brain's desires for the drug, they'll often participate in criminal activity and do things that hurt the people they love so that they can get high or drunk. So what leads people down this road? More often than not, it's not just that they are bad people. It's because they had a significant amount of risk factors. These risk factors don't always mean that a person will become addicted to drugs, but it just means that the overall chances are higher for them to develop an addiction in their lifetime. They include genetic predisposition, brain characteristics, having an addictive personality, psychological factors such as stress, anxiety, depression, and attention seeking, not to mention environmental influences. Trauma and abuse can also lead someone into addiction, especially if they do not learn the appropriate coping skills. As you can see, if you scratch the surface even just a little, you'll find that addiction is a much more complex issue. Not to say that addicts shouldn't take responsibility for the way they behave and the things that they do, because they absolutely should take responsibility. And it's worth noting that there are bad people in this world who are criminal-minded with or without drugs. But for many addicts, if you took away the addiction, you would uncover a great person underneath. If you know someone who is addicted to alcohol or drugs and needs help finding suitable treatment, we encourage you to give us a call today. Our addiction specialists are standing by ready to help. Please feel free to comment, like, or subscribe to our channel.